Dear students, you are aware that we have started our online classes recently. Experts say that online classes, they are not as effective as the classroom teaching. Online education cannot be an alternative for classroom teaching. See, we are invariably aware of this because there is no clarity about the reopening of the colleges. We are compelled to go for these online classes. I suggest you all to note the timetable that is being forwarded by the college office and attend to the classes with all the seriousness. Now, coming to my part here, before lockdown for COVID-19 pandemic, I started dealing about Mendel's work and Mendel's laws of inheritance. After introductory details about the work of Mendel, and that has made to describe him as the father of genetics, we shall try to learn about the principles of inheritance proposed by Gregor Johann Mendel. Now, Gregor Johann Mendel, based on his work, based on his crossbreeding experiments on garden pea plant, he framed 4 principles of inheritance. They are the following. 1. Principle of paired factors or principles of unit factors. 2nd, principle of dominance. 3rd, law of segregation. And 4th, the law of independent assortment. These are the basic principles framed by Gregor Johann Mendel to explain the mechanism of inheritance of traits among living organisms. Now let me explain each of these principles of Mendel. First one, principle of unit factors. The inheritance of each character in an organism is controlled by a pair of determinants called paired factors, also called Mendelian factors. Now such paired factors or Mendelian factors in modern terminology are called genes. And the term gene, it was coined by Johansson in 1909. Now these paired factors are today called genes. They may be same or they may be in different alternative forms. And such different alternative forms of the same gene, they are called alleles. Now these alleles, the different forms of the same gene are alternative forms of the same gene controlling a trait in an organism. They are located in a pair of homologous chromosomes at the same place called the gene locus. Hence, the alleles, the alternative forms of a single gene, they always occupy same gene locus on the homologous chromosomes. Now, when a pair of factors or genes controlling a character in an organism, when they are present in an individual in same form, they are called homozygous. Whereas, when an individual has a pair of alleles for a character or a trait, they are called heterozygous. Now, this is one principle of Mendel called the principle of paired factors. The second principle here is principle of dominance. In a heterozygous individual or in a hybrid form, F1 generation individual has a pair of alleles for each character. For example, in garden pea plant, a heterozygous plant, it has a pair of alleles, capital T, small t, controlling a character, that is the height of the plant. Now for this trait, this individual, it has a pair of alternative forms of the same gene, that is a pair of alleles, denoted as capital T and small t. Now these two are alleles. Capital T expresses the tallness in the plant, and small t is responsible for the dwarf character. Now in this individual, though there are a pair of alleles, one for tall character, another for the dwarf character, the allele for tall character alone expresses, while the other allele that is present together here, it remains hidden. It is not being expressed. And here, capital T, the allele for tall character, which is expressed, it is called the dominant allele, dominant gene. Now, along with this dominant gene, the other allele that is present here responsible for dwarf character, that is small t, it remains hidden. It remains latent. And this is called a recessive allele or recessive gene. And this has been explained by Gregor John Mendel by his another principle, and this is called principle of dominance. Now this principle of dominance states that when a pair of alternative forms of the same gene, that is, when a pair of alleles are present in an organism, only one called dominant gene is expressed, while the other allele, the other forms of the same gene, though present here, it remains unexpressed, called a recessive gene. Now here, capital T is a dominant gene and small t is its recessive allele. When capital T, small t are present together in an individual, this individual is a hybrid individual or a heterozygous individual. Now though the individual is heterozygous, though the individual has the allele for tall character and the dwarf character, but both are not expressed. Only the dominant gene is expressed. The other alternative forms of the same gene present here, small t for dwarf character, it remains latent or hidden. And this individual, though it has both the allele for two alternative expressions of the same character, this individual phenotypically it is tall, very much like the individual with the genotype capital T. So this individual is also tall and this individual is tall. So both the plants here, they are phenotypically tall. But genotypically, this is homozygous tall and this is heterozygous tall. Now, Gregor John Mendel, in his crossbreeding experiments in the garden pea plant, he has studied 7 pairs of contrasting characters, and in each of the character, he found one of the character out of a pair is expressed in hybrid individuals or heterozygous individual, and the other allele which remains latent in hybrid individuals or F1 generation, it is going to be reappeared in the F2 progeny. Now this is the principle of dominance. Now next principle here is law of segregation. Now law of segregation and law of independent assortment, these two are two important principles of inheritance framed by Gregor Johann Mendel. And recognizing the importance of these two principles, they have been elevated and described as the laws of inheritance. Now, law of segregation, which is universally applicable to the characters in all living organisms. Now this law of segregation is also called the law of purity of gametes. Now first let me give the statement of this law and later illustrate this law with examples. Now first about the statement of this law. Now the law of segregation states that in a hybrid, in a heterozygous form, a pair of factors or alleles responsible for a character remain together unmixed and uncontaminated and separate or segregate during gamete formation. Now this is the statement of law of segregation. Now let me repeat. The law of segregation states that a pair of alternative forms of a gene, that is alleles, controlling a character, responsible for a character, remain together unmixed and uncontaminated and separate or segregate during gamete formation. Now let me illustrate this law of segregation of Mendel with one of his experiment, one of his crosses. I said Gregor Johann Mendel conducted extensive crossbreeding experiments in a garden pea plant. In the early part of his experimental work, he selected only one character and traced the mode of transmission through generations. Now one example here is inheritance of one character in the garden pea plant, namely height of the plant. Now with regard to the height, in garden pea plant, there are two contrasting expressions called contrasting characters. There are two contrasting expressions of this character are one tallness, another is the dwarfness. Tall and dwarf, these are two alternative expressions of the same character, hence called contrasting characters or contrasting traits. Now, Gregor John Mendel, in his monohybrid cross, that is a cross between two individuals differing in one character, in this monohybrid cross, he has selected two pure breeding plants. One was a true breeding tall plant, another was a true breeding dwarf plant. So one here is a pure tall plant. This has been crossed with a pure breeding dwarf plant. So these two are the parents and both are true breeders. Now this is a pure breeding tall and this is a pure breeding dwarf. Always pure breeders or true breeders are homozygous individuals. Hence, the genotype of these two parental plants are given as capital T, this is the genotype of the pure tar plant, and small t, this is the genotype of the pure breeding dwarf plant. So these two are true breeding varieties of garden pea plant which have a single character difference, and hence the cross between these two parental plants is called a monohybrid cross. Now when these two plants are being crossed, the next generation that is produced here is F1 generation. Now this F1 generation is produced by the fusion of the gametes coming from these two parental plants. Hence the F1 plants, they have the genotype capital T, small t. This is the genotype of individuals of F1 generation or F1 progeny. Now phenotype of these plants is tall. Now because these F1 plants are hybrid individuals having heterozygous genotype and they have only one expression of these two, that is tallness. Hence, in garden pea plant, tall character is dominant over the dwarf. In other words, the gene for tall character, that is capital T, it is dominant to its allele small t. So here capital T is a dominant gene and small t is a recessive gene. Now even though these two are present together, only one of the alleles is expressed, that is capital T alone is expressed, whereas the other allele for dwarf character, that is small t, it remains hidden, latent, and hence here capital T is a dominant gene and small t is a recessive gene. Expression of capital T is a dominant character, that is tallness, and the expression of the small t is a recessive character, that is dwarfness. Now when these two alleles are present together in the F1 generation, the law of segregation of Mendel state that in a heterozygous individual, that is individuals of F1 generation, they have a pair of alleles, a pair of contrasting factors for the character. Now even though they are present together, they are being brought together, but they remain unmixed and uncontaminated. They remain as pure entities. So even though they are being present together in these F1 individuals, they do not mix, they do not contaminate, but they remain as two pure entities. But later, during gamete formation of this progeny, these two alleles which have been brought together here, they remain unmixed and uncontaminated, and they remain as pure entities. But during gamete formation of these F1 individuals, progeny, these two factors, alleles for this character, they separate or segregate and enter into two different gametes. Now this is what the law of segregation proposes. Now this can be confirmed by inbreeding these F1 individuals and obtain F2 generation, and in the F2 progeny, how is this character, tall and dwarf, gets segregated, and that will invariably explain this law of segregation of Mendel. Now when the individuals of the F1 generation, when these plants of F1 generation, when they are crossed among themselves, that is when they are inbred, what will be the nature of F2 progeny? Now these are the plants of F1 generation which are being crossed. Now these two plants will produce the gametes, and the gametes of these two plants will fuse at random during fertilization and produce the F2 generation. Now we shall just denote here, write here about the individuals of the F2 progeny, particularly about their phenotype and genotype, and will it confirm the law of segregation of Mendel. Now here, this plant produces gametes. Two types of gametes are being produced in equal proportion. One half of the gametes will have this allele capital T, and another half of the gametes will have the other allele, recessive allele small t. So this plant will produce the gametes, and the two types of gametes are being produced in equal proportion, one half with dominant allele, another half with recessive allele. Similarly, this plant produces two different types of gametes, again in equal proportion. Half of the gametes will have one allele capital T, and the other half of the gametes will have the other allele, namely small t. So these are the two different type gametes of this plant, and these are the two different types of gametes of this plant. Now when these gametes, when they fuse at random, the plants are being produced in the next generation, and this generation is F2 generation. Now in this F2 generation, how the character tall and dwarf segregates. Now when these two gametes fuse at fertilization, the F2 plant will have the genotype capital T, and these plants are tall. When these two fuse at fertilization, this F2 plant will have the genotype capital T, small t, and the phenotype is tall. Now when these two fuse, this type of plant will be produced here, and this is also tall. Whether you write capital T first or small t first, it makes no difference. So in either case, capital T happen to be a dominant gene. This will be expressed. Now when these two fuse at fertilization, the F2 plant will have the genotype small t, and this plant will be dwarf. Now these are the progeny called F2 generation. Now in this F2 generation, apart from tall plants, dwarf plants also appeared. But in the F1 generation, all the plants are invariably tall. No dwarf plant. But this tall dwarf character of this dwarf parent, though did not appear in the F2 progeny, it will reappear in the F2 generation. Now this is because of law of segregation of Mendel. That is, the two factors for a character which come together in a heterozygous or hybrid individual, they remain unmixed and uncontaminated and separate or segregate during gamete formation. Now here, these two are together, and here these two are together. But even though they are present together here, but they do not mix, they do not contaminate, but they remain as two pure entities. And as a result, when they produce the gametes, and the gamete produced here by this plant as well as by this plant, these gametes, they carry either capital T or small t, and these alternative factors which are being carried by these gametes, they are in their pure form. They are present in the same form. In what form? The F1 plants have received from their parents. So in what form these two have reached the F1 plants, in the same form they are going to be passed on to the gametes produced by the F1 progeny. Hence, here the gametes that are being produced by these F1 plants, they are pure in the sense they carry the factor for the character in the same pure form, without contamination, without mixing. And hence the law of segregation is also called the law of purity of gamete. Now these two alternative factors for this character in the F1 generation, they separate or segregate and pass into two different gametes produced by this plant. So as a result here, the two different types of gamete that are being produced, which carry the factor for the character in their pure form, and because of this, the gamete produced by these two individuals of the F1 generation, when they fuse at random during fertilization to produce F2 progeny, so naturally the F2 progeny will have the character being segregated in this ratio, that is 3 tall is to 1 dwarf. This is the ratio of segregation of tall and dwarf character in the F2 progeny. Now 3 tall is to 1 dwarf. So 75% of the F2 plants will be tall and 25% of the F2 plants will be dwarf. That is, tall and dwarf, they have segregated the ratio 3 tall is to 1 dwarf in the F2 progeny. Now this is called phenotypic ratio. This is called phenotypic ratio. Now this is called phenotypic ratio because this is based on phenotype of the character, phenotype of the individual. Now among these 3/4 of the tall plants in the F2 progeny, but all these plants, though they look tall, but genotypically they are different. So out of the 3 tall plants, for every 4 F2 individuals, 1 out of this is homozygous tall and the other 2 are heterozygous tall and 1 is dwarf. Now again the same ratio, 3 tall is to 1 dwarf, it can be rewritten as 1 homozygous tall is to 2 heterozygous tall is to 1 homozygous dwarf or just a dwarf. So this is 1 is to 2 is to 1. So this is again the ratio of individuals that appear in the F2 progeny, but this refers to genotype of the individuals and hence this is called genotypic ratio. This is called a genotypic ratio. So this is phenotypic ratio, 3 tall is to 1 dwarf, that is 3 is to 1, and 1 homozygous tall is to 2 heterozygous tall is to 1 dwarf, that is 1 is to 2 is to 1. This is genotypic ratio. So this is the ratio of F2 progeny based on the phenotype. This is the ratio of the F2 progeny based on the genotype. So these two, phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio, that is 3 is to 1 and 1 is to 2 is to 1, these two are together called monohybrid ratio. This is called monohybrid ratio. So state monohybrid ratio, you have here, you have to mention both phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio, 3 is to 1 and 1 is to 2 is to 1. Now this ratio, 3 tall is to 1 dwarf or 1 homozygous tall is to 2 heterozygous tall is to 1 dwarf, this can be obtained among the F2 progeny only when the 2 factors which are brought together in the F2 progeny, only when these 2 factors they segregate and separate and enter into 2 different gametes of the F1 individuals. When this separation or segregation occurs, then only the F2 progeny will show the segregation of character in the ratio 3 tall is to 1 dwarf. If it is not true, if these 2 factors if do not remain in their pure form and if they do not segregate, then this ratio cannot be obtained. And hence this illustration, which is one of the experiment of Gregor John Mendel, this will invariably the explanation for the law of segregation. Now, this law of segregation of Mendel is most significant, most important, because this law of segregation of Mendel, it is universally applicable. This is applicable in all living organisms with respect to the inheritance of the trait or inheritance of the character. Hence, the law of segregation is universally applicable. Even though Gregor John Mendel, he stated law of segregation and confirmed by his crossbreeding experiments in the garden pea plant, particularly what are called the monohybrid crosses. But Gregor John Mendel, he wanted to confirm, he wanted to establish the validity of his work, to confirm his principle of segregation. He conducted another set of experiments called the test crosses. Now, these test crosses, they further confirm the work and the conclusions of Gregor Johann Mendel. So, that is about the law of segregation.